is up, guys? Shaun? No, that's not my name anymore. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Since I changed my name and it sounds stupid to say on camera, or stupid to say in general, I'll just not say it. Look at my channel. Well, yeah. As you can see, I have PS4 controllers. Not PS4, PlayStation controllers. And as you read the title, I am going to review every last one of them. Well, say the evolution of it. As you can see, I don't have a PS5. I'm broke. I put out a note there for you guys to see that I have no PS5 and I'm broke. I'm gonna pull up a PNG after. I'm gonna pull up a PNG of a PS5 controller after, and then well, I'm not gonna say anything because I have no idea what the heck's going on because I don't play PS5 that much and I hate it. Because I have a PS4 that's working perfectly fine, and I don't need a PS5, so I'm fine. So anyways, let's go. Let's get started. Okay, so first up we got the original PlayStation controller, but it's not actually the original controller because it's the PlayStation Classic controller because I have a PS Classic. Yeah, I have a PS Classic. It's not, the game library is very poor, but I got it for Christmas because I'm gonna mod it. The game library is poor, but anyways, it's basically shaped as the original. It's not the same controller since it's the PS Classic controller, but it's the only PlayStation related controller I have, the original one with analog sticks. We're calling this the original PlayStation. Okay, so basically back then it didn't have any analog sticks, so that's something to know. It has the Sony and PlayStation select start, no analog sticks because back then analog wasn't a thing back then. Up, down, left, and right, the D-pad. X, circle, triangle, and square. Has back then there was no trigger, so there were physical buttons you press. Let's show you. It wasn't named the DualShock, it was just a Sony controller. It was named Sony controller. It says Sony Interactive Entertainment, which not Sony Computer because it's a PS Classic. So yeah. Oh shit, my tripod. Okay. So anyways, this is the original PlayStation controller. Since, well, not really, but it's the only one it has. So we're calling this it's basically the original PlayStation because it was made by Sony. And it is PlayStation. It's official. It came with a PS Classic. It's technically a PlayStation. Not really, but it's technically is. So we're calling this the original controller. So that is the original Sony controller. Onto the PS2 controller. Okay, so here is the PS2 controller, aka the DualShock 2. I don't have the original DualShock because again, I'm broke and I never had a PS1. So yeah, technically I'm broke. It's for the PS5 or whatever. I'm showing it you anyway. Anyway. This is the PS2 controller. Has analog sticks, has an analog button. Technically the same design as the original DualShock. If I had one, I could show you. X, circle, triangle, square. This is an old controller. It's my this is actually not mine. It's someone else's. Up, down, left, and right D-pad like the original second start. It has the same feel as the PS1 controller, but this one feels more heavier because this one has vibration. The PS1 controller does not have vibration. The very original one. Even the PS Classic one doesn't have it. The PS Classic one doesn't have it, and the original one didn't have it. But I'll come back to you guys when the airplane comes. When the airplane stops flying, I'll come back to you. The airplane faded away. So anyway, has analog, has the start, D-pad, has an analog button because, well, some games turn on. Well, most games turn on by itself, but on the menu screen, you couldn't use these on a menu screen. You could only use the D-pad as usual. But yeah, turning around is the same buttons, but except like the PS1 controller. Let me get it right here. It is, you see that the buttons were like smaller, the same size as this, but then Sony made them bigger, like real triggers, like how that's basically like make it bigger for like your bottom fingers instead of like this. Since it's small, they made it larger. I just realized that. I forgot about that feature, but I realized they did that. Anyways, here's the top. It says DualShock 2 right. That's scratched on. Wait, no, scratch off. Yeah, okay. There it says DualShock 2 right there. And 1, 1, 2, 2. The two buttons are the number 2 buttons are bigger. No jokes aside. Jokes aside, the number 2 buttons are bigger. And it says Sony analog controller. And Sony Computer Entertainment, because this was released when Sony Computer Entertainment was a thing. Don't think it is. This thing is interactive now, but I'm not really sure. Anyways, yeah. Same shape, same everything. Just have rumble and analog, and it's DualShock 2, so you can see it's official DualShock 2. Okay, well, that's the PS2 controller. Now onto the PS3. Okay, so there's the PS3 controller. So Here it is. This is actually not the very original PS3 controller because it doesn't say. It's just 6-axis. You know why? Where's DualShock 3? Did they stop doing it again? Well, technically, yeah, but no. This is the first controller that released with the original PS3. When the PS3 first released, the controller's budget had to drop down. So 6-axis means it has motion controls now, and it's wireless, and the triggers are physical, like the springy triggers we now know. So now, instead of being physical buttons, there's springy triggers, like how we're used to them being now. But they had motion controls, but it didn't have rumble because Sony had the budget to add rumble, and the PS3 launch was a total disaster. I'm not gonna get into that, but anyways, they couldn't add rumble to the controller. It's a Sony wireless controller. It still says Sony Computer Entertainment Inc. This is actually my mom's controller, but for an old PS3. But yeah, that PS3 is not working anymore. But they added differences to the classic D-pad. It's the same shape as the PS2 and the PS1. So I'm using this for like 2 generations of the PlayStation. 3 generations now. The third PlayStation is still using the same controller except it's wireless. It has 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like if it flashes 1, you play a 1, 2, play a 2, 3, play a 3, 4, play a 4. This is not charged, by the way. I tried. So something new about this controller is that it still has the classic analog in this instead of the start. But it has a PlayStation button, so you could go to the home menu and you could turn on the controller. So that's a cool add-on. You can see the PlayStation logo. This my phone on it. Yeah, there it is. So this is a 6-axis. I have a DualShock 3 I'm going to show you in a moment, but yeah, they couldn't add rumble back then, so this is the very first controller. So this is a 6-axis PS3 controller. On to the focus it a little bit. Okay, that wasn't focusing. Okay, on to the DualShock 3 controller. And here is the original DualShock, well, the new DualShock 3 back then. The second controller to come up for the PS3. And this one actually has rumble in it, because with the this actually feels more heavier than this. I thought this felt heavier than the rest of them, but this feels more heavier than this because of the rumble. But you know you can't call this thing a DualShock 3 without rumble, so get out of here. Okay, so there's the DualShock 3. The same design and everything, except it has rumble inside of it. Let's start the play. It's not charged either. Has the physical triggers. These I took the springs out of. I gotta find them. I have them somewhere in a container, but I took the springs out because I was about to open it. But yeah, same buttons. I gotta fix these. So now, as you can see, this time it says. Let me focus. Focus. There you go. It says DualShock 3 this time. This is still not focusing. What's going on? There you go. This time it says DualShock 3 6-axis. 6-axis is at the bottom now, since, that's old. And they added DualShock 3 at the top since this is now DualShock 3, and because they couldn't add it here because, player buttons. So basically that's the only difference. The classic stuff that I showed you on the PS3 controller, same things, but except it has rumble, and it's now a DualShock 3 wireless controller. This is very dirty. I gotta clean this. But anyways, it charges with USB Type A, the same with this one. Yeah, same thing. They charge the same if you want to compare it just in case. Well, yeah, it's the same controller as you can see. 6-axis went on the top since they couldn't add DualShock 3, and they put DualShock 3 here and put 6-axis on the bottom. So yeah. Okay, so on to the PS4 controller, which we all know and love. Well, we just know it. Here we got the PS4 controller. We all know this controller. It's basic. It's the most popular one. It's the most basic controller you can see now, because everybody knows this controller. If you wonder why it has this faceplate on it, when Christmas was 2 days ago, my aunt got me this. I asked her to get me this. She got me it for Christmas, and I put it on my PS4 controller, and it was a success because it's still working. I dismantled this thing multiple times. As you can see, you're wondering, are these buttons darker? Well, they are, because this is the newer PS4 controller, but these are the older buttons from the original one, since my father's his DualShock 4 wasn't working, so I just took it and used it for parts. I tried repairing it, but I couldn't, so it was beyond repair, so I just used it for parts, and it's still in a box. So yeah, I had the D-pad has been changed, has a circle inside of it, so you could add for extra grip. This is actually supposed to be like gray like this. I couldn't remove these buttons since they changed these buttons. They kept these ones the same, but they changed those. So these are attached to each other. but the original they could have come off. But anyways, I have a classic D-pad, up, down, left, and right. There should be some arrows around here, but this faceplate doesn't have one, but I don't care. It added a speaker to it, so you can hear from certain games like GTA and stuff, and Call of Duty, Black Ops 4. Analog sticks, these are supposed to be gray. Well, the old ones were black, this is gray. PlayStation button it's not see-through anymore. It's actually painted on, like printed on this. It's not see-through anymore like the original. Yeah, and it doesn't have 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a light bar. Has a touchpad now, and has a light bar on top of here, and you can see it on top of here. The older one didn't have it here. You can only see it from here. But if one why it says Nike, I put a Nike skin on my PS4, so yeah. That's why I had this red one so I could match it, because my other one has a Nike skin on it, and I didn't want to put it on this because I was kind of customizing this a lot. And if I put it on that, I would have to take it off. So yeah, I didn't want to do that. So yeah, I had the triggers. These are the triggers has been nude. This the triggers right here. Triggers, yeah, they're different. It's gray. These buttons are all supposed to be gray, but I replaced them. I couldn't replace this though. This was on the motherboard. So, and here's the bumpers, triggers. The new things that I added with the controller is that it's DualShock 4. The rumbles been kind of improved. It has motion controls, and there's some ports on the bottom. You have a headphone jack, and I think some other ports and some accessories, but the headphone jack is mostly used. That's a good improvement. So yeah, that's new. I only have 2 controllers. This is the one that came with my PS4. The one I put the skin on is the one that came with the one that my mom bought separately. But yeah, I'm still playing the PS4 because my PS4 is not having any problems, and that's the only reason we get a PS5. But anyways, that's the PS4 controller, DualShock 4 controller. It says Sony. It charges with a micro USB now instead of USB Type A, and it's Sony right here. I can't show you the label since it is wiped off. This is the reset button in case you're asking this little tiny hole here. But yeah, the amount of times I dismantled this controller and the other one, because one of the analog sticks was bent. That was the first time I opened a PS4 controller. Whatever. So the only thing that's new about it, again, I want to say it again. I was saying the random things. I apologize for saying the same thing over and over again, but I am stupid. I don't know. But the new things is that there's a touchpad. There's no select. Oh yeah, I forgot to say one thing. There's no select and start. It's supposed to say share and options, but it's not there. This is the share button, so you can like hold the share menu, so like video record. You can hold it down to video record. Take screenshots. How can I not say it the first time? Take screenshots, video captures. You can upload them on Facebook or something. I don't know. Options is basically like options button on the menu, but it's most likely used as start in some games. But this can't be a select. Touchpad and the PS4 can play PS3 games, but if you could download a PS3 game, this will be select and this will be start. So yeah, that's a new thing. So that's the PS4 controller. Now on with the PS5. Guys, I already said I'm broke. You already know I don't have the PS5 controller. So yeah, I told you I'm gonna pull up a PNG of it, and then yeah, just look at the PNG. This is how it looks. I'm not gonna describe it. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. I'm just gonna show, even though you guys know what it looks like, I'm gonna show you guys anyway. For those who don't have internet access and for those who don't go outside, there you go. That's a PS5 controller. That's what it looks like. Okay, well thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys liked it. I couldn't find the I am broke sign. I lost it. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching this video. This is basically an updated version of the older one, which was my first video. Well, not my original first video. I actually took down those videos because they were embarrassing. But I changed, so I just took it down. So my first video would be the evolution of PS1 PlayStation controllers. That's my first video. Now, that's my first video then, but now. That's my older video now. So, couldn't find the Iron Bro sign. Since I got a PS Classic this Christmas, to mod it, I didn't actually play it. I ordered some stuff to mod it for those Amazon gift cards I got. You don't even know that. Nobody cares. Anyway, so it's basically updated because I got a PS1 controller from the PS Classic, and I got a new face with my PS4 controller. I would do Nintendo controllers, but Nintendo has been a long way, and I don't have all those controllers. And let's have an NES or NES Classic, or I have some Joy-Cons. Well, no, not Joy-Cons. NES or SNES Classic controllers, and I have an N64 controller. I'm not gonna do that. So, yeah. This is all the controllers I have. I have more. I have a second one of these. I have 2 more of these, These are the only two I have. Have a second one of this, and yeah, I have more PS2 controls than any of these. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sorry for not uploading. Merry late Christmas. I forgot to say Merry Christmas at the beginning of the video. It's too late for me to say anyway. This was 2 days ago now, but Merry late Christmas for those guys. I forgot. Sorry for not saying that. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, and peace.